I know I said I was going to make a post and say when I was going live. I did not. Forgive me. Okay, I had a really busy day. I had a really busy week. It's not quite over yet. It's not quite over yet. It's been, and let me not say busy. I had a very interesting week. AC. That's, hey, that is not for you to play on. I have to put this over here. This is, that's for my plants, man. It's, so I can wind my plants up. My cat is going to want to try to get to that. I know he is. It looks like one of those things that he's supposed to be climbing on and stuff. We're not doing that. Okay, so hello. Hi, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am Intuitive Mom. Okay, so we are doing Durga. Okay, we are starting with Durga. I put in my look, I'm like, how much? Okay, I put in the posts. I mean, in the community tab, I put a lot of information in the community tab. I put Amazon links in there where you guys can buy some of the statues, where you can buy the feet. I also put Durga yantras in there, and I did her images, right? You can go get those printed off, and that's where we're starting. Okay, again, these lessons, these talks, this teaching, this is not going to be for everybody. Okay, it's not going to be for everybody. You can take what resonates, leave what does not. But it is going to be requirements as to being able to do this, but it's definitely not going to be for everybody. I know it's not going to resonate with everybody. Hello. So I just know it isn't. So we are going to be discussing Durga. Again, I am just being called to do this. All right, I'm being called to do this, and this is just what we have to do. If you are here, then it most likely resonate with you. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Okay, I'm switching up a lot of stuff on my channel because this is just where we at. All right, so I titled this, all right, the kind of person the kind of life a person gets depends on the activities and the desires of their previous birth. Okay, there's a lot of things that's going on in the world. There is a lot of things that's going on with us that we might not understand why we are going through things or whatever the case is. Like today, I was in my lessons, right? I was in my lessons. I was listening to the Guru Shata, right? Sri Guru Shata. I was listening to that, and I was listening to one of the stories about an abscess, right? About an abscess, which made me start thinking about asthma. Asthma and the abscess they're not the same medical, they're not even in the same medical terminology or whatever the case is. But it started making me thinking about something, like my son passed away from asthma, from a silent asthma attack. I have asthma. I have asthma, and then I have family members that have asthma. And so I started thinking about my past life. All right, a lot of illnesses that we have is literally karma from our past life. So I looked up a study, right? I looked up a spiritual study, and then I've also been thinking about this very heavy, right? Like, why is it that I have asthma? Why did my son pass away from a silent asthma attack? And I think about the last conversation that we had, and the last conversation that we had, and then wait, pause. Before I say what the last conversation was, that oh, it's okay. Before I say what the last conversation is that we had, one of the all right, don't come on here doing extra stuff. I'm going to put you in timeout. I'm not going to block you, but I will put you in timeout. So this ain't the channel for that. All right. I have bad allergies as well. So, I'll give you guys like a little background, right? And I'll talk about past lives and illnesses, right? So, in this particular lifetime, right, I am allergic to fish. I've never ate chicken. I know I'm black, but I never ate chicken. I think I went to a chicken farm when I was younger, or I seen a video of at a chicken farm. I don't know what it was, but it was very triggering for me. Very, very young, I stopped eating actual chicken, the chicken, right? I think maybe I was like 3, 4, 5, far as I can remember. And it's crazy because most people don't have memories back to 3, 4, and 5, but there are certain things that I can't remember. I know I've always been allergic to seafood, shellfish, seafood. I've always been highly allergic to it, right? Which is weird because I can eat tuna. I can eat tuna. I do have to take a Benadryl, right? But there's something about, are you allergic to it or you just don't eat it? Okay? I'm not talking about us being picky. I'm talking about us being, like, having, like, a killer allergy to it. Like, the people dying, right? Are you going to die if you don't eat mayonnaise? What's in mayonnaise? So, I always had a fish allergy. And I don't eat birds. I don't eat nothing with no type of feathers. If it had feathers, birds, chicken, turkey, duck, none of that. I just be like, oh, poor little bird, right? I feel so sick about it. And then I'm allergic to seafood, everything. So my theory has always been, right, I'm talking about allergies here though. My theory has always been that I'm from the ocean. And the reason why I can't eat from the ocean is because I'm eating like my brothers and sisters and stuff like that, right? That's always been my theory. So when it comes to like past life, right? Today, I'm in my lessons and I'm actually, I finished the lesson today, but I'm going to be starting over. Because whenever I can't grasp, like it gets good at the end. You know how you read a book, you get good at the end. I'm the type of person, if I read a book and it's really good at the end, I'm going to start the book right over. Because I'm like, it's something that I miss. Even though I already know how the book is going to end, gotta start it over. So now I'm going to create a lesson plan for myself, and I'm going to start it. I'm not going to say what my plan is, because if I say what my plan is, I would get distracted. So I'm not going to say what my plan is when starting the lesson over, but I am. When it comes to like food allergies, right? So not just food allergies, actually illnesses, right? So I have asthma. And when I look at asthma, I have an allergy asthma, meaning that I can have an allergic reaction and I can trigger an asthma attack and I could untimely pass away. Same thing with my son. He had an allergic asthma attack, right? It's not something like when you get allergic reaction and then you swell up or anything like that. Like I said, he passed from a silent asthma attack, right? Very much so. Now, some of the key factors, the big key factor is that in a past life, okay, so what we talked about, the very last thing that we talked about was like, oh my goodness, Sakai, we got to eat more fruits and vegetables. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, and I just started thinking like, oh my goodness, right? And I just started thinking like, what could be happening at the moment? And I remember being in the hospital, right? I remember being in the hospital, and I say this quite often when I talk about this. I'm a very spiritual person, and I remember one of the spirits being in the room. I won't say what their name was, but I remember one of the spirits being in the room that said, "Don't pray to false gods," right? Like, just easy to me, like that. Like, I am not a mother in here grieving. I'm not on my knees. I did not just see my kid's spirit leave his body, right? Literally, this spirit just looks at me and tells me, don't pray to false gods. And I'm like, at that moment, I ain't going to say what I did, but I did it. Okay, I did it. At that moment, it was becoming, it wasn't clear at that moment what that spirit meant. Okay, it wasn't a bad spirit. It wasn't a bad entity. It actually, it was very much so like one of my deities showing up. Like, lift your head up. Don't pray to false gods. It's so crazy because, the conscious part of me wants to say something like this, right? Like, we're all born, we all die. Okay, that sounds like it doesn't sound like I had to say this to my sister earlier, that I have empathy, but my sympathy is crazy. Now, I grieved. And I almost gave up on spirituality when my son died. I really did. I almost gave up on everything. I almost gave up on God, right? I really did. And Spirit stepped in and was like, girl, my divine mother stepped in and was like, that's not what we're doing. I'm like, oh my God. I could have punched 20 holes in the wall, losing my firstborn. Right? I could have punched 20 holes in the wall. I could have, there's no sorries. I could have literally punched like 20 holes in the wall. I could have unalived a lot of people, that I was holding accountable. But in reality, they was just doing their duty. They was just doing what they was born to do, right? Now, in the past life, right? Today, I pretty much been going through this thing where I've been very quiet. Meaning I'm not oversharing like my business. I'm not talking to like my coworkers. I'm not talking to my friends and my family like that. Well, I am talking to my family, like my immediate family here, right? My husband, my children. We're actually, we're very close. So we are talking. That's what took me so long to come on here, because I was talking to my son and my husband. Or talking to my sons and my husband. And we was just chilling. So it took me a while to come on here. But very close with them, right? But like when I'm at work, I have these headphones in my ear and I have lessons. I hope they hung up. I have my headphones in my ear and then I have my lessons that I be listening to. My lessons are hours long. Sometimes I'm talking to my sister at work, but half the time we're hanging up on each other. The call is dropping. I work in a old hospital building, so the reception is horrible. We both are busy doing stuff, so I'm like, I'll call you back. She'll call me back, or whatnot. So I really just haven't had a lot of time to just sit and like gossip. I really been, especially when I'm reading something or I'm listening to like these lessons. One, I really have to listen because I'm listening to a lot of translation, and this particular book that I just read, Sri Guru to Chalista. The book that I just read, it's a lot of past lives, right? And so let me get back to asthma, right? And so it intrigued me to look up, why do I have asthma, right? Why am I allergic to things? And one of the past lives that, I mean, I sat there and I went through my birth chart. I put it all together and I was like, that makes so much sense. In one of my past lives, I unalived animals, certain types of sacred animals, for no apparent reason. Like, no reason at all. I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have been practicing that. But I was unaliving animals, sacred animals at that. Okay. I was also doing it with, either I was doing it with a group of people, or I have not seen where my kid that was born to me this lifetime, and that's the thing. I had to suffer that. Consequence. Either I was an animal myself that was killing other animals, maybe in the jungle. I don't know. I just put that together, right? So maybe I wasn't an animal. Maybe I was a human that I was sacrificing. Maybe I was a human that was sacrificing animals of some sort, and I don't know, but there was no reason for me to do it. And I'm saying I was a human, but my original spirit, even every lifetime that we're born into, we always forget certain things. And I know that my original form is something of religious background. Okay, like I have a Brahmin background. I know that. And then in one life I asked to be a king, or I asked to be a queen in another life. And essentially this essentially this lifetime is a life that I semi asked for. I'm getting some of the things that I asked for this lifetime. I know that. It's just that I have to work very hard for them. So, with that being said, a lot of us, one of the biggest, and my body is filled with mucus. Okay, my body is filled with mucus. However, I am becoming, when I was practicing fully and faithfully with the Divine Mother, right? When I was practicing fully and faithfully with the Divine Mother, I had no problems. When I tap into hoodoo and voodoo, I get very mucusy, right? And I'm cleaning out my system. I'm cleaning out my system. And so this is why I want to help you guys too. Now, y'all might not be experiencing the mucus and the the asthma or the allergies and stuff like that. It's literally people on this earth that just wake up and they good. You get what I'm saying? They good. My husband is one. He's good. Like, he good. He don't have those problems. You get what I'm saying? And I told y'all, like, my husband, my kid, two of my kids, they don't have those problems. One of my kids have allergies, but another kid good. My husband good. So we're gonna tap into this, okay? So that is why a part of why we are doing this, okay? That's a part of why we're doing this. The other reasons is, right? So and it's so crazy. Like, I'm allergic to my animals that I have, but nothing in me can make me give them away. I'm telling y'all, like, the allergies is wild today. So what we're going to do is I put in my community tab, I put the photos of my Durga. I put her yantra there. And what's crazy is at 7 o'clock, I pulled up to FedEx. They closed at 7 o'clock. I pulled up at FedEx. And they were closing. I was like, this is crazy. I couldn't get the everything that I wanted sent over. I did send it over, but I'm definitely black. I couldn't get everything printed out, but I didn't get it sent over, and I'm off work tomorrow. So my husband is like, well, it looks like you have to do it tomorrow. Plus, I am fasting tomorrow. So I'll be getting a lot of work done. Anyway. All right. So Durga. Durga is the protection goddess. Okay, Durga is depicted with 10 to 18 arms. Actually, she's depicted with 4 to 18 arms, not 10 to 18. Okay, 4 to 18. Riding on a tiger or a lion, carrying various weapons and sacred objects in her hands, she destroys the evil forces that attack humanity, such as jealousy, prejudice, and ego, as well as sinful natures of people. She possesses unlimited power and signifies the inevitable triumph of virtue over darkness. Durga is the warrior mother and teaches her followers to receive the benefit of truth, love, and protecting against the negative energies of the world. Okay. So, so the first thing that we are going to be looking at, well, not the first thing, but a couple things that we're going to look at is we're going to be looking at Durga's Devi Suktam. Okay. This is the Chandi path. All right. These are vows. Vows. V-O-W. Okay. These are vows. V-O-W. Okay. And I want y'all, I'm going to put it in my community tab. I'm going to put it in there, and I really want y'all to like read them over. It's 30 vows. We're going to go over them. We're going to talk about them, and we're going to talk about now you're going to get timed out. Because you're doing the most. All right, we're going to talk about what they could possibly mean for you, what it is that you could be I don't want to say what you can get from them. Okay, I don't want to say that because I don't want anybody doing this for material gains or anything like that. I'm actually going to go through, do I want to go through and read them tonight? Nicholas, you always comment some crazy something, and it do be crazy because it don't be having nothing to do with what I'm talking about, and then you don't never like the video. Like, why are you on here? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, why are you on here? You get what I'm saying? Like, you on here to look at me? Like the video. Listen, get you a notepad. Like, this is very, it's very lustful. Like, this is why I'm introducing this energy, is because the world is so lustful. Like, do I have permission to douse? Thank you so much, Divine. Right, get that off the desk. Okay. Thank you so much, back to center. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. I just have to check something. Okay. So, the power of protection. All right. Let me see if 18. Very interesting. All right. So I'm gonna read these mantras. I see my dowser rods pointing to this book. It's 27 in here. And the ones that I'm going to read, they're on my iPad. There's 30. But this is actually to be read before I read the ones that's on my iPad, okay? So, all right. Not only for battle, but for every forcing consciousness, she is praised as the great feminine. Because of this most faithful hum to Shakti has come down to us intact, we begin to get smaller glimmer of the existence to which the great feminine was revered by the ancient seers. Even today, all over India, this hum is chanted to invoke the power of the great feminine in the matters great and small. It matters great and small. Okay? So it says solutions to the great feminine who abodes of all blessings. Solutions to she who is primordial energy of the cosmos, its sustaining principle. We adore with admiration and deep devotion. Admiration to she who is both dreadful and eternal. She is the birth one who sustains the cosmos with soothing forms of the moon and its coolness, grace, and charm. Solution to the source of the bliss again and again. Adoration to she who is the source of all being, all blessings. She is prosperity, success, and all forms of wealth. She is the misfortune of the arrogant ones as well as the goddess of the fortune to her vultures. The very consort of consciousness. We salute her again and again. I make my deepest bows and offer my inner obedience to the great feminine who takes her flocks across the ocean of turbulence. She is the originator of all and the essence of everything. To she is often appears in a deep spiritual blue. I offer songs of praise. Solutions to she who can be terrible when needed, but she is gentle by nature and upholds the universe. She is the fountain of all creativity. To her we bow again and again. Solutions to the great feminine, the power of Vishnu himself, who abides in all beings. Solutions again and again. Here are but a few of your inedible qualities. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in forms of infinite consciousness. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of intelligence. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of sleep. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of hunger. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of reflection. I bow to the feminine who abides in all beings in the form of power. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of thirst. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of forgiveness. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of geniusness. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of modesty. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of peace. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of faith. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of beauty. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of activity. I bow to the great feminine who abides in the beings in the form of memory. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of compassion. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of contentment. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of the mother. I bow to the great feminine who abides in all beings in the form of delusion. I bow again and again to the rules of all elements and all senses. Solutions to the great feminine. The great feminine resides in all beings and forms of the consciousness and pervades all parts of the universe. Admirations to her again and again. All right. And it says, pleased with their devotion, Durga hovered over the glowing coals of what once had been a fire. Carefully, she, who is called Chamunda, looked from face to face, and what she saw there pleased her. There is no glide or no strategy for her help. There's no hidden agendas lurking in the quiet recession of their minds, only gratitude and relief. Finally, she spoke. In the future, whenever evil becomes so powerful that you are overcome, chant my mantras and my hymns, and I will come to vanquish those who oppose you. And then she disappeared. All right. And then it says, we gods have been harassed by arrogant thoughts in the matter of men, and at this time of us gods bow to the seer of all, who then bow to with devotion and do remember in the physical image, immediately terminates our every adversity. All right. So that is, I'm gonna really like pretty much leave it there. I hope you guys like kind of play it back or whatnot. Like I said, I'm gonna put this. Actually, I'm gonna put this in the description. I'm gonna put the words in the description. This is the Devi Sutra for Durga, my Durga, the Divine Mother. If you can read this, do it silent to yourself. Until I come back. Look, until I come back. And I'll see you guys later. I love you guys. And I hope y'all have a beautiful night. Sweet dreams. And remember the Divine Mother. Talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.